Well, good evening and welcome to Primetime Thematic. I'm your host, Phil Mack, and this is WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. And tonight is a very special night for a lot of reasons, because not only is it my primetime show for Radiothon, I have with me a special guest in the studio, and we're going to check to see that his mic works. And that would be Dave Caruso.
Hey, Phil, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing just fine. Especially,
I think we're on.
Yeah, I think we are too. I think you sound really good. Good.
Thanks.
Yeah. In case you don't know Dave, or the Carusos, they've been around in the Detroit area for, and I don't want to, I don't want to ruin any myths here. How long do you want to say? How long have you been around?
Oh yeah, no, it's been 40 years.
40 years.
Yeah.
Okay. And the Carusos, it was a band that was with your brothers.
3 brothers. 4 of us played together. We usually had a lead guitarist for a 5th member.
Okay.
And we toured the Midwest and made records and played colleges and had a really good time.
Okay. I want to start things off here with a song by the Carusos. It is from the remastered 80s collection. Is that what you call it?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And it has the usual nice 80s sound. You know, it does sound that way. There is nice guitar work on most of the songs that I heard from that album. So it's interesting that you mentioned that you had an extra guitarist.
Yep, we always added a lead guitar because none of us played it.
All right. So this is Young and Tender by Caruso. You're listening to WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. I have Dave Caruso of Caruso
Hey!
in the studio with me right now. So we heard a couple of songs from a collection called The 80s Remastered. That's some of the songs by Caruso. And tell us a little bit about the band itself, because the band was quite successful. It was a downriver band.
Yeah, we started out in Trenton, Michigan about the late 70s, and we were very young when we started. We were in high school, and one of us was not in high school yet. And as we got to doing more and more, the first year was just a few shows, and our dad would drive us to the gigs, and then we all were getting our licenses, and we were all taking musical instrument lessons and writing songs. And then by the time we got into college, we started to play colleges and bars, and went up from there. We kept recording records the whole time. We did about 7 45s, and then after the 5th 45, I think it was, we made our first EP, which is the one just before this one.
Okay.
And this one came out in 1987. That was the last year that I was with the band.
Okay, and then you went solo.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're there with your brothers, and hey, I've got brothers and sisters. Did everybody have this vision that you guys should be playing music together, or,
we just did. It's pretty familiar thing if you have a musical family. Everybody plays together because, every chance you get, if there's a family gathering or you're camping and you're around the campfire, you pull out the acoustic guitar, and you start jamming. So we would harmonize really well because when you have blood and, we have family, it tends to make the harmonies a little sweeter.
Sure.
And we did that really well.
You can't beat that.
Yeah, something about it, Of course, we looked at other family bands and tried to, figure out what we could do. And we were more of a straight-ahead pop band. We weren't funky like the Jackson 5. We weren't as sort of white bread as the Osmonds. We tried to be a little harder edged, at least live.
Thankfully.
Yeah.
You guys were actually like the pre-Hanson.
We were a boy band. We pretty much were a boy band before there were boy bands.
Yeah. All right, we're going to play another Caruso song, and I'm looking at Elizabeth Parker.
That's going to be a Dave Caruso song.
Yeah. Is that a good song?
It's a great song.
All right. That's a title track, right?
Yeah, it's a title track.
Okay. All right. Well, let's hit Elizabeth Parker and then go on from there. All right. You're listening to WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. I'm Phil Mack. I got Dave Caruso with me. And now we got a little bit of backtracking we got to do there because we started off and kicked things off with a song called Elizabeth Parker, which was a title track of Dave Caruso's album. Not the most recent album that he has, but the one before that. And I like that. That's a nice pop tune.
Thank you. I spend a lot of time at Elizabeth Park, which is in Trenton, Michigan. And it's a great place to sit and put together my songs. I do a lot of writing there. And watch the dogs go by and the and the squirrels and everything else and the birds. And Elizabeth Park, I thought it would make a nice name, a girl's name, Elizabeth Parker. And so the whole thing is tribute to the, my hometown, and a lot of things are referred to in the song that are related to that.
Yeah. One of the things, and I think that you're a good proponent of this, like power pop stuff, and which has always been one of my favorite styles of music, and just pop in general, which seems to get a bad name these days. And I don't know why. Yeah, well, I guess I know why, because you were supposed to bring Justin Bieber in here today, and it didn't happen.
I'm so sorry.
He folded. He folded? Did he really? He folded right into the basket, right?
Yep.
There was a picture on Dave's Facebook page where he had a picture of himself and Justin Bieber, and Justin was right next to a garbage can.
Yes.
But it was like life size. It was hilarious.
He wasn't very talkative.
No, he wasn't. He kind of one-dimensional.
Very flat.
Very flat. Yep. A lot of people commented on it. It was pretty funny. So anyway, yeah, I like you're part of, and I'm reading your little notes here. There's so much stuff here. And we're only going to scratch the surface on stuff that you've done. You're part of the International Pop Overthrow?
Well, I've been invited to play at it a couple of times, and that's David Bash's brainchild, and he does it all around the country, around the world, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does it in other countries as well, and he hosts these shows that bands play at. And a lot of bands that you know the names of play there. The Hangabouts have played there.
Yep.
Nick Punty has played there.
Usually at PJ's Lager House, I think.
Yep, that's the local, the Detroit version of it. I've been in it for the past 2 years. I didn't do it this year.
Okay.
I consider myself melodic pop, which is not really power pop so much, but there is some power pop in it.
Yeah.
Power pop tends to be really narrow margin. It has to have an edgy guitar or it doesn't count, right?
Okay.
Edgy guitar and poppy vocals. But not all my stuff has an edgy guitar. Sometimes it's more mellow. And I think that's perfectly fine, But melodic pop.
Okay. Let's talk a little bit about the jingle.
Oh, sounds good.
Okay, so you've done a jingle for Channel 56, is that?
Yeah, I actually did two. This started because my brother Joe, who is an internationally known speaker and executive trainer, but he helps CEOs of companies to steer their companies better. And he did a book and a show on Channel 56 several years ago called The Power of Losing Control. His name is Joe. It's Joe Caruso. And he founded a company called Caruso Leadership. And he needed a jingle to use during the show. And they tell you they want certain lengths, and you have to do your jingle in all these different lengths, and so they can plug it in wherever they need it. And of course, the one that I need, the one from Joe, that I wanted to bring you, was on a hard drive that died, so I don't have that. So the other one is a radio show theme. It's a song that I had an idea for in my head that I didn't finish, but I just finished rebuilding my studio last year in my home, and that's what I'm using for the new album. And so listen to this, really seemed like a great radio theme song. Mm-hmm. And a friend of mine has a radio show on Pop That Goes Crunch Radio, and it's called The Big Show. And I said, this would be perfect for you. And he adopted it, and he uses it every time he does his show.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. The other couple songs that I played in there was Champion and Sticks, Keys, and Wires. Mm-hmm. And you brought in some artwork for Champion, which is really, I just want to say it's cool because it is. And what it is the cover for the single is a variation on the Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. It's just you with a bunch of, looks like llamas.
Those are alpacas.
Alpacas, okay. Well,
there's an alpaca farm in Groseal, which is near Trenton. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can visit it.
So, it's a nice little send-up of it. 6 Keys and Wires. Anything special about that? There's a little loop in there where you're kind of like breathing in time or something.
Sure.
I mean, it's kind of funny, when you listen to it on headphones.
Yeah. But I try to get a lot of different things in there. At the beginning, there's about 4 sound effects: scratching on a drum head with your fingers, and tapping on things, and then there's the sound of the guitar getting plugged in. So all the things that happen in a studio that are the things we don't record, the things we don't usually keep. I try to put a lot of that in there.
Yeah, very interesting. It's right in the opening of the song. It's really interesting, yeah. Let's see. This is WHFR.FM, the only station making waves. Primetime Thematic. I'm Phil Mack. And it's me and Dave Caruso in the studio, and we're talking music and playing music. And then I want to play this really cool song, which is off of his album Cardboard Vegas Roundabout. Is there any significance to that title?
Well, I like the sound of it. I like that. First of all, I hate roundabouts. And the idea was to make it sound like, Vegas is fake. Vegas is fake. So, if you get stuck and stranded on a cardboard Vegas roundabout, it's a bad place,
Yeah.
So that was kind of what I was looking for. And it sounded like there was a Hall & Oates song, an old Hall & Oates song that had a similar title, too, that I liked. So.
Okay. Your deluxe version of this album has like a little cutout and stuff. Is that true?
Yeah, it's extra mixes and two CDs and a gatefold and all that stuff and booklet.
And you could find your material at
DaveCarusoMusic.com. When you do try to buy this, there's a lot of ways to buy it, a lot of places you can buy it, iTunes and Amazon and stuff. But if you do buy it from the DaveCarusoMusic.com website, you can get it autographed if you check the box. So I'm happy to do that for you.
And that is Dave Caruso from Cardboard Vegas Roundabout. Mm-hmm. And Shelter, I was listening to that today. Man, that one just hit me. I thought that was great, man. I really liked that.
There's a song by Hunters and Collectors called Throw Your Arms Around Me. The person that sings it, I believe, or that wrote it, is a brother of the bass player from Crowded House.
Okay.
So Crowded House played this song all the time, and I'm a huge fan of Crowded House. I used to listen to Throw Your Arms Around Me, play it live, and I wrote my song to sound in that vein, to have that sort of mood.
Okay. All right. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say thank you to Dave Caruso, who's been here in the studio with me for the past couple hours.
Thank you, Phil. It's been great.
Okay. I'm glad you had a good time. I certainly had a good time. Jonathan, thank you for coming in to help out.
Hey, no problem.
And we're going to end with a finale here, and it's going to be kind of like a nighttime send-off. It'll be off of the Cardboard Vegas Roundabout, and it's going to be Rockabye, a Rockturnal Lullaby. You got anything you want to say on that? That's your comment, huh?
That was my comment.
All right. So that's all. Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. I will see you next time.
Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, thanks a lot.